Alright, let's dive into something that's got the combat sports world buzzing right now. Imagine this. Bo Nickal, the guy everyone's calling the next big thing in MMA, is stepping back onto the wrestling mat, but not just any mat. He's going up against an Olympic champion at RAF Moscow. Yeah, you heard that right. And here's the kicker, this isn't some random sideshow. It's happening on the same card as Khamzat Chimaev versus Tyron Woodley. So, why does this matter? Personally, I think this is a massive statement for Nickal. It's like he's saying, I'm not just an MMA fighter, I'm a wrestler first, and I'll prove it against the best. But let's break this down, because there's a lot more here than meets the eye. First off, Bo Nickal isn't just dipping his toes into wrestling, he's diving headfirst. After his win over Jacob Cardenas at RAF's first event, he's now lined up to face Shirvani Muradov, the guy who stood on top of the Olympic podium. What makes this really interesting is the timing. Nickal's already got a fight scheduled against Max McKenelly later this month, and now he's adding Muradov to his plate. In my opinion, this is either the move of a genius or a recipe for burnout. But here's the thing, Nickal's not just any athlete. He's a three-time NCAA champ, and his transition to MMA has been nothing short of impressive. So, is he biting off more than he can chew? Or is this the kind of challenge that separates the good from the great? Now, let's talk about Muradov. This guy's an Olympic gold medalist at 96 kilograms. That's over 200 pounds of pure wrestling dominance. What many people don't realize is that Muradov's making his RAF debut here. So, why start with Nickal? Is it a test? A statement? Or just a coincidence? From my perspective, this feels like RAF is throwing Nickal into the deep end to see if he can swim. And if he wins? Well, that's a whole new level of credibility for him in the wrestling world. But here's the bigger question. Does Nickal need this? He's already 6-1 in the UFC, with a knockout win over Kyle Daukaus. So, is this a step backward or a step sideways into uncharted territory? What this really suggests is that Nickal's not content with just being a great MMA fighter. He wants to prove he's a great wrestler too. And that's fascinating, because it's rare to see someone at his level in MMA go back to their roots like this. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. What does this mean for his MMA career? Is this a distraction, or is it sharpening his tools for the cage? Personally, I think it's the latter. Wrestling is the foundation of his game, and if he can dominate Muradov, it's a huge statement to the middleweight division. But let's not forget, Muradov isn't just any wrestler. He's an Olympic champion. So, this isn't just a test of skill, it's a test of will. If you take a step back and think about it, this matchup is part of a bigger trend in combat sports. Promotions like RAF are blurring the lines between MMA and wrestling, giving athletes like Nickal a platform to showcase their skills in both disciplines. And that's huge, because it's not just about winning fights, it's about building a legacy. Nickal's already got the MMA world watching, but if he can beat Muradov, he's not just a contender, he's a crossover star. One thing that immediately stands out is how much pressure he's putting on himself. 2 high-level wrestling matches in a month? That's insane. But maybe that's the point. Maybe Nickal's trying to prove to himself and everyone else that he's unstoppable. So here's my closing thought. This isn't just a wrestling match. It's a statement, a test, and a glimpse into the future of combat sports. Nickal's taking a risk, but if it pays off, he's not just a fighter, he's a phenomenon. And whether he wins or loses, one thing's for sure, this is a fight you don't want to miss. So, what do you think? Is Nickal biting off more than he can chew, or is he about to make history? Let me know in the comments below.